Hello, my name is Lindsay Paul and today I'm going to be taking you through the Level 1 reading exam for Functional English. So you're going to take the reading exam. We're going to have a look at what you need to do in order to pass this exam. The criteria, this is what the examining bodies say you have to do in this exam. Identify the main points and ideas and how they are presented in a variety of texts. So think about why texts have been written, what ideas they're trying to get across to the reader. And you're going to look at those in more than one different type of text. So we could be looking at a letter, an email, a blog, an article, some instructions. We don't know what we're going to get, but we do know we're going to get two. We're going to read and understand the text in detail, so you'll be looking for the fine detail, not just the main points. We're going to utilise that information in the text, and we're going to look at and identify a suitable response. So how might you respond to this text? Key facts, it's 1 hour, you'll get 2 texts, there'll be 14 questions. The pass mark is usually around 65 to 70%. The questions are multiple choice, but there are also written questions as well. The exam for this purpose is online, but there are paper versions of these exams available as well. So looking at text A, for this exam we've been given a letter. You'll have 7 questions to answer on this text. But before you even start thinking about the questions, read the text and ask these questions to yourself. What is this text? Is it formal or is it informal? Why has it been written? No one ever sat down to write a piece of writing for no purpose. They're trying to influence the reader in some way, more than likely. Think about what this writer wants the reader to do after reading this text. Types of questions you're going to get asked. So we can see that the first 3 are multiple choice, which is quite nice because you've got a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right, even if you don't know the answer. So my advice is put a tick in a box, even if you're not sure what the answer is. So it starts off quite simple. What is this type of text? An advert, an article, an email, a letter. And from the layout and the way it's written, you should be able to figure out what it is. What's the purpose of the text? To describe, to inform, to persuade, or to instruct. Later on in the course, at West Notts College, we will be going through these in detail. And then you're going to find some detail. So it's asking you to find something very specific. According to text A, how long will the roadworks take? 2 more multiple choice questions, again quite nice. According to text A, what will cause traffic delays? So again, it's about finding the main point. And the next question is about finding a little bit of detail. So according to text A, who can use the park and ride service at a reduced cost? Now, questions 6 and 7 are a little bit more tricky because you are asked to actually write an answer rather than just ticking a box. So question 6 is about identifying a response to the text. Using text A, identify 3 ways the residents can help to minimise disruption during the roadworks. So we can see there's 3 marks and it's asking for 3 ways. So that's 1 mark for each answer. Make it easy for the examiner. Write 3 separate answers so they can see that you've given 3 answers and then that will be your 3 marks. The next part is identifying presentational features and it's asking for 2 presentational features. So how is the information presented? It's not just about reading a text and understanding it, it's about how this text is being shown. So is it in columns? Is there a logo? Is there bold writing to make something stand out to the reader? Have they used a different colour? Is it in italics? Are there pictures there to help illustrate what's being spoken about? And now we can move on to text B. You'll be given text B, you'll have 7 questions to answer on it again. So it's the same thing, just on a different text, and the text will be different to what you've just read. But go through the same questions again in your head. What is this text? Is it formal, is it informal, and why has it been written? If you go through this thought process, it will help you to answer the subsequent questions. So, questions 8 to 10, again, are very much multiple choice, which is very nice. We're going through the same kind of questions again. What's the purpose? What are the presentational features? But then we're coming on to a bit of fact and opinion. Which of these statements is incorrect? So this one can be a little bit more tricky. And again, we're finding the detail, we're finding the main points as well. So looking at the text and reading it carefully, reading it closely so you can answer these questions. And then questions 13 and 14 are the written questions, so a little bit tricky, but of course there's more marks. Not just 1 mark for ticking a box, it's 3 marks. So again, when we're responding to the text, identify 3 reasons why employers like the apprenticeship programme. And then we're going to use the information in the text by identifying 2 benefits of continuing to a higher level apprenticeship. So again, make it easy for the examiner. 3 clear answers on 3 different lines, or 2 different answers on 2 different lines, depending on what the marks are for this question. That's the end. Hopefully that wasn't too scary. The layout of the exams are all very similar, no matter what paper you're given. The questions will be similar, but the text will be different, and that's something we can't prepare you for. It's exactly what text you will get, but we can go through all different types of text you may get, and we'll be doing this in further videos in this series. Revise using your BKSB and your Highfield books. And one of the best ways to revise is actually do lots and lots of practice exams. And of course, if you're in doubt, you can always ask for help. Thank you for listening.